What's up, party people in the house? It's your boys with a bit. We are coming at you from our bunkers. I had to leave the entire world, as you can see behind me. I ain't gonna spend anywhere near that Rona. And Chris is like buried in the ground with his weird ass mug.
You know it.
That's the name of the new show.
Right. Let's get started.
The worst camera angle ever. Can you fix the camera angle? Seriously, it's gonna be really hard for me. God bless America. Elevated.
How you want it?
In the air. Have it like another like 6 inches above you, and then like looking directly at you. See, look at me. Look.
Want me to show off my bluey?
Not like this. Not like this. See how unflattering that is? But if you keep it level, oh. Pretend you're taking a selfie. We're all learning here, folks. It's all on the fly. So you gotta love this. Technology is great. So while he's dicking around with that, I don't know what the hell is that. A knee? You balancing it on your knee?
No, it's my fucking finger.
Your finger? No.
Oh, this? No, that's a case.
A case of what? Dead body knees?
Yeah.
It's a case wrapped in human flesh.
That's exactly what it is.
Oh, sweet. Oh, Chris.
No, I'm too high.
You just need to angle it towards you more. Angle it down.
Bitch, I'm having a fucking circus here.
Don't you have like a fucking tripod or anything you can put the bitch on?
Nope. Not my phone.
Wow. Welcome to the shit show for sure.
For sure.
I'm not editing any of this out. It's good comedy.
I'm gonna punch you in the face.
You look like a grandma that's just learning how to fucking do this for the first time. Grandma, like SNL even did a joke about this during their quarantine show. About these old women that have no idea how to run Zoom. That's better. Good job. You made it. You work. I'm proud of you.
After 5 fucking minutes.
No shit.
See, I was trying not to curse today, but you fucking did it.
It's all right.
You fucking did it.
Hey, as long as we don't get like demonetized for music or something. We had a warning on one of our episodes. Said that it couldn't be monetized, but hey, let's face it, none of it's monetized yet. So I said, fuck, I don't care. As long as it didn't get taken down.
We got nothing to lose.
It said either edit out the sound in the video or just let it go. It doesn't really matter. It's just you can't monetize that video. I'm like, well, it's not monetized, so I don't know if
we're monetizing anyway.
Yeah, and then there we had a song or we had an episode taken down off of SoundCloud. Did you get an email for that? I did. It was it got copyright violation and they removed it from the site. I can't remember what it was now. It was like episode like 25. It was like a long time ago.
And then just now got caught onto it.
Yeah.
Wow.
What song was it? See, I can't remember. It was because they stated like the lyrics or whatever of it. I had to like figure out like what the hell song is that?
Spice Girls.
I figured it out, but I can't remember now. I'd have to like go and look through my. I don't know. Maybe as you're talking, I'll try to see if I can figure it out. It's funny just to see what it is. So Chris, what you doing?
What have you been up to in this?
While I'm
quote
doing
unquote,
this, why don't you tell me what you've been doing while I'm looking this up?
Quarantine. Well, I mean, work's been going on and off, so at least we're getting some income coming in to pay rent and my car and the 500 credit cards.
500
no, but I mean, it's going all right. We're hanging in there. See, the thing here is that I don't feel that we were ever in a quarantine because nobody freaking listened, you know? Everybody was out on the street and everything. I mean, the only people that were basically in their house was in downtown Nashville because they couldn't go to the honky tonk to get drunk like every
All the stores. It's crazy seeing the picture of like all the stores gone, or all the people gone, and all the stores closed.
Right. But even then, I mean, see the thing here is that we've been in quarantine for almost like a month or whatever,
Yeah.
but we have like on average like 400 new cases every day, and now they're planning to reopen. Even though I mean nothing's changed, it's getting
So
worse instead of better.
I don't know who to believe, man, because there's so many like people. Some people are saying like the protesters are fake, and they're really it's overblown by the government. That there really not that many uh, cases that are coming up every day, and I don't know who to believe.
It's crazy, man, because see, I mean, there's a lot of people supposedly getting tested and stuff, but I honestly don't know anybody that's got the virus or that went ahead and got
Yeah.
tested and was came out positive. So it's weird, man. It's really weird.
When I wake
But
up in the mornings, I have to get out like that early morning like phlegm, whatever that's been building up all night. So I'm
mhm,
coughing my ass off like a lot, right? And it lingers. You can hear it. You can hear like there's a little bit still there. It lingers throughout the day sometimes. Depends if I get out early or not. But usually in the mornings or early, like just before afternoon or something, I'll run to the store and I'll still be doing that coughing. So I'm thinking people are thinking like, what the hell is this guy coughing so much? He doesn't have a mask on or anything. He's probably got corona or whatever. I'm just like, dude, that's one of the things is coughing.
yeah,
But I'm like, that's it. That's all I got. It's cough. So fuck off. I mean, screw off.
I don't know, man. I mean, see, the thing is that some people say it's like, oh, it's something that's going on with the government trying to mess up the economy for their own benefit at the end or whatever. But the thing is that it's happening on many different countries around the world. They're doing the same shit. So it's hard to believe that it was one country's idea, and then everybody else decided to go along with it, and then just reap havoc.
Yeah.
So it's weird. I mean, like I said, I don't know anybody personally that has or had the virus, but just like you, I don't know who to believe, and I don't know, if I should be like panicking or just being like fuck it. I'm kind of like in between because I
Yeah.
mean I still have to go to work and I still have to go outside, and I can't wear a freaking mask every day. So
Right.
I try not to think about it as much, but I still take my precautions here and there just in case.
Do you wear a mask if you go to stores?
If I go to stores, yeah, because my wife makes me, so I definitely wear gloves. Because I
I've
mean,
never done either one.
it's yucky. But with the mask, I mean, I do it sometimes. It just depends. Because I mean, if a lot of people like, if I go to Walmart and I see like 90% of people wearing masks, then I just do it just to make them feel comfortable.
Well,
Not
what's
not
you don't need to then. If everybody's wearing one, you don't need one. What's the point?
well. That's the thing, though. I mean, from how the virus works, apparently, it can work on different forms. So I just do it just to make people feel better and safer.
I'd rather people
Just
feel uncomfortable, and then
yeah, 'cause I
then
mean,
they avoid me.
yeah, I mean they start looking at you weird when, especially if you like have to sneeze or cough. They'll be like, and try to run away from you. Like
You
pitches, allergies, shit.
know. I know we're going into the allergy season, so it
I
certainly
know.
could be other things than that.
Yeah.
It's funny. Well, on the times that you've not been able to work, what are you doing? What are you doing when you're home? You binge watching anything? Is your wife making you clean in the
Yeah.
house?
Go good old Mexican culture. Wake up at 6 in the morning. No, it's like wake up. It's 10 in the morning and it's fucking 7:30. And then
That's
they
so screwed. Like
gotta make the
psych.
bed and see the the messed up thing is that we were off for like 3 days, and I was, I cut the grass, I cleaned the gutters and stuff like that, just to have something to do. And it was funny because you know how that uh, stimulus check came like a week, 2 weeks ago almost.
Yeah.
And I was like, hell yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and put the money on my savings, just in case for a rainy day. Well, freaking stimulus check comes in on the 15th, and just like most people's, and 2 days later, the freaking dryer goes out, and then the washer starts
Oh my
having
gosh.
some kind of leak, and I'm like, what the hell, man? So it's like as soon as the money came in, I had to cash it out and get a new dryer and
Oh my
washer and
gosh.
dryer, and it
That
was
sucks.
freaking crazy.
That
And the thing
sucks.
is that the thing is, I was so embarrassed, but at the same time, it was funny as hell because I almost killed my father-in-law. So basically, what happened is that I didn't literally kill him, but it was pretty fucked up, but funny at the same time. Because, like I said, the washer and dryer got messed up, so we got new ones, and they came in like 2 days after, and uh, and they set them up and everything. But on the dryer, it kept getting an error message saying that there was a blockage. When the heat and the dust is going out the
Mm.
vent. And I was like, man, what the hell? So
Hey, you buy
I
nice ones? You buy nice
I
washer
mean
dryers? Like Samsung
I mean
ones or something or what?
they're LG. It's funny
Yeah,
because I got
okay, yeah.
I got the cheaper ones, but they're still fancy though. And
Really?
yeah, I
Wow.
was actually surprised on all the stuff that you can do with that
Because
thing. You can,
we had some Samsung ones that were fancy as fuck. But they're expensive as fuck too. Well, they're like
yeah,
middle. They're like middle of the road. They're
yeah.
still expensive.
I mean, I just noticed like 3 days ago when I was doing laundry that I can actually connect them to Wi-Fi and shit. I'm like, damn.
Dude, you got a good deal on some. I bet you they were like on sale or something. Because
Yeah, they
the
were
Wi-Fi ones are
apparently.
like usually the most expensive ones.
Yeah, apparently they were like 1,600, but they had a deal and they had them for 1,000. So
All right, motherfucker, 1,600 is not cheap. So those aren't
I
the
know.
cheapest ones. Cheap
Well,
ones
that
are
was the
like
cheapest
$200 each.
because
Those are
I,
the
I
cheap
bought
ones.
them. I bought them for a
Fucking
thousand brand new.
bougie, you bougie little bitch. Yeah, those are cheap ones. They're only 1,600. I got them on sale
well,
for 1,000. You
well,
bastard. You rich
shit. The other
fuck.
ones, the other ones were like 3,000, 3,500. Hell, I'm
Yeah,
not paying thirty
they
five
get
hundred for a pair.
expensive. They get
I know,
expensive.
but I'm not paying 3,500 for a
Hell
set of
no.
washers and dryers.
Dude, you
Shit,
should never have
fuck
it.
that.
Never. You should never need a fucking washer and dryer that should connect to the internet. That's
I
all I
know.
know. Although I can kind of see the benefits of that. Kind of. If you're like
I mean,
shit,
what's
I need to re-rinse that one, but you're at home or you're gone.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing though. I see it kind of pointless because I mean, if you still have to get up and throw the load of laundry in the
Yeah.
washer or the dryer, I mean, it only takes 2 seconds to push two buttons and get it going.
That's where you need like one of the ones that they have in like England, where there's a washer and dryer combo. Have you seen those?
Right?
Where it's
Yeah,
all in one machine. I heard they don't dry as well. Like it takes longer to dry, but like
yeah.
they need to fucking revolutionize that bitch and make it so
They
you buy
actually
one thing. That'd be awesome,
they
right?
actually had one in Electronic Express when I was looking
Really?
at the washer and dryer set, and there was one that was the washer and the dryer, but it was $1,300. So it was like, what's the
Shit.
fucking point? You're not saving any money. So
You
I mean,
save
you're gonna
space and
you're gonna be
convenience.
saving space, but
You gotta
that's
like
pretty much
rationalize.
it.
Yeah, you gotta rationalize the convenience of the whole thing. Because like if it could hook
Exactly.
up to the internet, I mean, how awesome! Okay, it doesn't even need to hook up to the internet. When it's done fucking washing, boom, it starts drying. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I I don't think I pay that much, but I'd probably pay decent amount for that technology. Because I mean, ever since washer and dryer's been around, like automatic ones, that's all you do. You take it from one fucking thing and put it in another. But it's
Yeah.
inconvenient if you're gone or if you're somewhere, you're
Right.
busy. The ones that we have here, like they're nice. They're nice Samsung ones, but they like you can't leave if you wash your clothes. The second that fucker gets off, you can't leave it in there even for like 10 minutes or 30 minutes. Your shit will start getting musty if like you don't switch it over right away. And then if
Yeah.
you dry it when it already has been
Right.
musty, oh, it stinks up the whole house, and you got to rewash your clothes. It sucks. I don't. I think they just need to be
Yeah.
cleaned
It
out.
gets all smelly and stuff.
I need to figure out
Yeah.
how to clean it out, just so it just you don't have to worry about that. Because that sucks. Like sometimes I'll put it in a load like at night, you know, and then if you go to sleep, it's sitting in there for like 4 hours or whatever, and then you pull it out and it's all musty smelling. You're like, damn it, sucks.
Yeah, so I thought it was nice, but I was like, yeah. I mean, like you said, I see the convenience of it, but then there's not a whole point behind it, you know, on connecting them to the internet or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
But anyway, going back to the story, so we hooked them up, and then it gave me that error message. So I was like, shit. So one day that I was off, I went ahead and I went to Lowe's and I got one of those the vent that goes in the back of the dryer, and the outlet that goes outside, and we were hooking it up, and it didn't work because the the little tube that goes from the house to the outside of the house was really messed up. Like it looks like they forced in another piece of that tube or the pipe or whatever, and it messed it all up. So we were trying to clean it up, and it was all kinds of shit in there, dude. Like it almost looked like it had never been cleaned since they built the freaking house, man.
That's weird.
And
That sucks.
and just FYI, I don't own the house. I rent it, so that's why. I mean, we never knew that it was that bad. And I went on the outside and checked it out, and there was even a freaking nest, dude. There was a fucking nest, a bird nest, stuck on that bitch.
Wow. It didn't
And I
have
was like,
was the vents broken on it? Is that why they got in there or no?
yeah,
Oh,
I
there's
mean,
like vents on the outside?
yeah,
They're made out
but
of like shitty plastic.
the thing is that it had the plastic, but it also had like they put a mesh on there. But the thing is that they put the mesh, after the fucking nest was already in there, and they didn't bother to clean it out, so they just left it
Oh
there.
my gosh.
And
Dude, that's so
and
annoying.
yeah, so I grabbed like a big brush and I started brushing it out and taking it out, and I had like a Walmart bag, and it went like half the bag in there, but there was still still stuff in there, like a lot of debris and dust and shit. So I was like, okay, let me try the freaking the the carpet, what's it called, the fucking god damn it, forgot my words.
You
I
didn't
tried
been
the
spending a whole lot of
vacuum,
English.
right? I
You've
tried the
been like
vacuum.
non-English mode for a while.
I've been with all the Mexicans, so I'm losing my English. I'm losing my white card.
You never had
and
it.
uh, and I know I sold it. It's a fake one. Paid $200 for it. Anyway, so I tried with the vacuum, tried to suck it all up, but it didn't work because it had like an elbow type of thing going outside. It wasn't straightforward,
Yeah.
so it wasn't sucking the stuff up. So I remember that my brother-in-law had a blower for the grass and stuff. And I was like, I'm gonna ask him to let me borrow it, that way I can clean it all out. And then my father-in-law was like, yeah, that's a great idea. So I went to pick it up and I got it, right. And then I told him, I was like, let me know when you're ready. And he's like, okay. And then I heard something, so I thought it was him because I was in the outside and he was in the inside. Now keep in mind that the laundry room is upstairs and I was outside, so I could barely hear a fucking thing, right? So I turned that bitch on and it was strong as fuck, right? So I
You're
turned it
inside?
on.
You were inside doing
No,
it?
no, I was outside. My
Oh my
father-in-law was inside.
God.
and the thing was like, I was like, well, I'm gonna put it close by. That way, all the air goes in, and then it pushes everything out, right, from the
Yeah.
from the other side. So, common fucking sense, right? So I turned that bitch on, and the thing is that it has the trigger where it has the handle where I'm holding it. So I turn it on, and like it shakes a little because it has a lot of power. Now keep in mind, I'm in a set of stairs, and I'm holding that shit, and then it gets stuck on the vent. So I'm trying to take it out, but at the same time, since I'm holding it, I'm still pushing the fucking button. And then my wife comes out and it's like, "Stop! Turn it off! Turn it off!" I turn it off and take it out, and it turns out that uh, my father-in-law was putting the vent back together, so he was cutting off a piece, and all the dust went into his face. So when I went inside, he was coughing like crazy, like trying to throw up and everything from all the fucking dust he inhaled. Like I said, I felt so bad, but it was like funny as hell. 'Cause he was like coughing for like the next 3 hours,
Jeez,
and
that is hilarious. I feel
and that
bad for
happened.
that. That's funny.
Yeah, so I was like, holy fuck! I was like, so embarrassed to go inside, and that happened. But hell, the that it got really clean though, so it fucking worked. It was
Yeah, I
like
bet.
sparkly clean.
Yeah, I bet.
And yeah, that happened. So my stimulus check went on a new investment.
That's good. You got a good dryer, washer and dryer, but that sucks to happen with that.
Yeah, but I mean, hopefully, they last for a really good time. I mean,
Yeah, they should.
they should. I
A
mean,
lot of times
they
they have
have,
like 10 years now. They got 10-year warranties on them.
yeah, they have a 10-year warranty, so they better last at least 10 years.
Fuck yeah. I mean, heck yeah. That's gonna be
Take my
really hard.
money's
It's
worth.
gonna be really hard to cut that on the swearing. So we get some pay. So we get some pay. Well, let's see. What have I done while I've been locked in this place? I mean, you're locked in, but you're not at the same time. I used to go to the store. That's pretty much all gone. It's like you either run out and grab some fast food, or you run and grab like something to make for the night or whatever at Walmart. It's big enough, you
Right.
know. You can social distance yourself easy enough. But I've been watching a lot. I've been like catching up on like series, different like TV and yeah, Netflix and whatnot.
Hmm.
My days are like flipped upside down. Like even if I do like Instacart or something, like I don't start. Sometimes I try to start early, but I end up like going to bed late. So you start later than you need to, and you're kind of like, God dang, I need to start this earlier. But I don't know. It just the whole thing is like night and day. It's like has no meaning. Really, it seems like. I mean, I don't know. I've talked to a lot of people that like their schedule's just been normal, but now other
Yeah.
people are like, I don't even know what day it was. Like there was a couple days where I'm like, I thought it was a Tuesday, and it was actually like Monday or something. I'm like, oh, I had no idea. So it's weird that way. But
We're gonna be making a video like, what is time anyway? Like,
yeah,
it's irrelevant.
it really is, man. If you don't have any like set things to do, if you don't have a schedule,
Right.
time means nothing. It's like nothing. So it's just kind of
Nada.
funny. You just do things whenever you want. You go down and you're like, you want to watch some TV or something, and it's like you don't even look, if you don't look at the clock, then you would never know. But you haven't looked at the clock, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. You go, what the hell? Like, I should be sleeping right now.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Last couple of nights, I've had like a couple bouts of insomnia where I can't get to sleep at all. Like it was nothing short of taking like drugs, but I'm not gonna do that. But I don't know. You ever watch the show Ozarks? Ozarks?
Yeah, I started watching it. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
The
man.
thing is that the thing is that the family started watching it while I was at work, so it fucked everything up.
Oh man.
Because I was gonna watch it 2 nights ago when I got home from work. I took a shower and I had a bowl of cereal, and I was, what, I'm gonna watch some TV before I go to sleep, and start the whole fucking thing again. And I clicked on it, and it said they were like on episode 12, and I was like on the third episode. I was like, what the hell? so so I started watching something else, and I just got lost in it. It was like the 72 deadliest animals in the world or something like that I found
uh,
interesting, and I started watching that. But then I fell asleep like 2 hours later.
yeah.
So like I've been lost. I've tried different shows and movies. Like for example, yesterday we watched the Hitman's Bodyguard. Have you watched that? With
Yes.
yeah, with Ryan
Ryan
Reynolds and
Reynolds, Sam Jackson.
yeah,
Yep.
it's funny as hell.
I need to rewatch it because I think I fell asleep, so I think I missed a chunk of it. But I
Yeah.
remember still liking it. Like the commercials were hilarious. I remember watching this and thinking, yeah, this is pretty good. But speaking of Sam Jackson, I just first time I've watched the whole thing all the way through because they just added it to Netflix. Django Unchained.
Yeah.
That's the first time I ever watched the whole damn show all the way through, all the movie all the way through. It was good. It was really good.
Yeah, it's a good movie. We actually watched that like 2 days ago. I thought they had already seen it, but they didn't. So I put it on, and
It's
they
like
actually
so
had a lot of
gory.
fun with it.
It's so
Yeah,
yeah, it's awesome. I love how like Quentin does like over the top, where it's like so it doesn't seem so realistic. It's like
right.
splattered everywhere. But
Yeah,
he started doing that with like Kill Bill and stuff like that, where it's
yeah.
over the top.
It's funny though because they said when they interviewed Leonardo DiCaprio, he said on the interview that he had to pause on certain uh certain takes that they were filming
Mhm.
because he couldn't keep up with the gore and the the mistreatment of the people and to film the movie.
Right.
It was funny because Sam Jackson was like, "Motherfucker, it's just another Wednesday for us. Keep your shit together."
Well, man, Sam Jackson was like he was crazy. He looked crazy, but it was also funny how he was like so on that side. Like it was
I
good
I
acting.
know, dude. It's like how he treated his own people like shit just
Yeah,
because he was
he
he was
didn't want his
the
life fucked up. Well,
right.
like
So
there,
it was
yeah, go ahead.
so it was pretty fucked up, man. Seeing how he took their side just to
Yeah.
to have that commodity, and fuck everybody else. Basically, that was his mentality.
Mm-hmm. Crazy. Leo actually hurt his hand. That was always the big deal. Oh, excuse me.
Oh yeah,
When
on
he's
that
down that big,
scene.
he hits the that skull or whatever. His
Yeah,
hand started bleeding. That's his actual blood.
yeah, and like he just kept going, so they actually decided to keep it. It was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it was very cool. There's a point where he's looking at his hand like he's like shit. You can tell like he's like really probably concerned about it. Like I'm fucking bleeding here.
Right. He's like,
Oh
I know.
shit.
He was like, it probably looks good, but can we fucking cut now?
Yeah. Well, it's like the time when did you ever see a Hateful Eight?
Yeah.
When you remember the moment when Kurt Russell smashed that guitar?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You ever hear the
And
story
it was
behind that?
actually like the real guitar
That was
that
a
they
real
had
guitar.
borrowed.
Yeah, it was priceless,
Yeah.
and it was so expensive. I think it was even like for them to. I don't know if it was loaned to them or if he had to pay to use it or whatever. I don't know what. If you had a replica, why not just use that all the way through? Honestly, unless it sounded like
Right.
shit. I mean, if you
Right.
wanted it to sound really good, I guess. That's why that girl though, when he smashes that guitar, the look in her face is like fucking terror. And she's like,
Yeah.
"No!" Like she's probably really telling him like no in real life, like that's the real one.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's why. Because he fucked up the real one, and
Yeah,
I think from what I heard, if I remember correctly, is that it was a loan that the museum did for the filming of the
yeah.
movie, and they pay like I think it was like 10,000, and like
I think
the
it was
the
more than
guitar,
that.
or like 30,000, and the guitar was worth like a crazy amount. I can't remember,
Well, like
but
I
then
heard it was like the car. I've heard two things. I heard the guitar was worth like 70 grand.
yeah,
Then some other people had priced it as like it's like it was such a like old great piece of work that was like considered priceless. Like you couldn't put a number on it, even though
yeah.
that like I think they did value like it at like $70,000.
Yeah, and the thing is that when when that happened, they interviewed the director to see their take, like not the director of the film, but the director of the museum that let him borrow it,
Yeah.
and they told him that they would never lend anything else to
Yep.
to to make a film after that.
That,
So
and
I
that,
was like,
wouldn't it be hilarious if you're that person that made that happen? Like Quentin's the reason that they'll never get vintage Martins anymore.
right.
That's hilarious. Oh man, what else did I watch? Uh, I rewatched Good Will Hunting. That's always a great movie. You ever watch that movie? It's a little bit of a tearjerker at the end, but it's a great movie.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, so it was kind of brand new because like you remember some of the key spots, but you don't remember like how really good it really was. I don't know. I watch a lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
we also watched the Martian. I actually didn't
That's a good
finish
movie.
watching it
That's a
the
good
first time
movie.
I watched it. So I watched it all the way through this time. It's a really good movie.
Yeah, I like that too. Um, Finished The Office again.
Is it
Seriously,
like
like
your
the
third
third
time?
time. It is the third time. But like, there's people that have seen it like 20 times. Like Billie Eilish, she's a huge fan of The Office, and she said she's seen it like every episode like 30 times. It's like something ridiculous number.
Damn.
Yeah. But like, what's weird about that show is it never seems to get old. Like I can just pull up now a random episode and watch it and probably laugh my ass off just as hard I did the first time I watched it ever. And that's what was weird that there's not really too many shows that do that. Like I think Friends
Right.
kind of did that for me.
Hmm.
I like Seinfeld a lot, but that didn't really do that for me. But I'm trying to think. There's not too many other um, shows that you can go and you can binge watch like that and get the same
Right.
enjoyment every time. It was like right when the episode, like the very last episode I watched, like they start showing you stuff from like the from like earlier seasons as like flashbacks and stuff and whatnot, and then you're just like, I totally want to rewatch it again because it's really weird. I had a feeling of just like, okay, episode one, and just watch it again. It just has that kind of weird like power over you. I guess maybe it's just me, but I don't know. I
Right.
hear that.
It's just like it's just like the same thing with some movies. You just never get tired of watching them,
Yeah.
and you actually just enjoy them like if it's the first time you watch them. So
What's a movie that's like that for you?
the very first movie that was like that for me was Shrek, because
Really?
because my nieces and nephews, when they were little, like they would want to watch it, over and over,
Mm,
and it didn't bother me. Like I would cut off whatever I was watching, put it on, and I would watch that shit over and over.
mm,
And that was the
interesting.
first one. But then for example, I watched the Bourne trilogy uh, many times, and I always
Mm.
enjoy it every time I watch it, even though I've seen it like 3 or 4 times already. But it's a good set of movies.
I'm trying to think. One of the ones that stands out to me that I can watch all the time is oh shit, I just had it. Oh, The Matrix.
The Matrix, the
Yeah,
first one.
the first one. I can always I watch that anytime and watch that like over and over and over. And then what's another one? Fight Club. That's another one I can watch over and over.
Yeah.
It happens to be two semi-violent movies, but oh well.
Hell, the first Matrix, I barely remember it. I've only watched it like twice,
They're
and
coming up on
it's
like
been
the
it's been a
review.
while.
They're coming up on like the 20th anniversary. I think I heard they were gonna reissue it out in theaters. I
Yeah,
don't
and
know
I
if they.
also heard that they were actually planning for the production of a fourth movie, and
Hmm,
Keanu Reeves was gonna come back as Neo.
I think I did hear that too. I did not care for the second and third one. It was too weird for me. They were stretching too far. I think, and the what's even worse is like the audio, or not the audio, but the special effects and stuff. Not up to par. It looked like you're
It
watching a video
looks
game.
so fake, dude.
So bad. Like the fight scenes between Neo and the agent and stuff like that, it just was not realistic. Like
Yeah,
all the like special effects they did in the first one looked better than both the other two. And they were a lot they didn't do a whole lot of computer they didn't do any computer generated effects as far as I know on the first one. Like with the explosions and everything, that was all like real that actually was happening. But then,
right.
like as far as like the bullet, they introduced the bullet time, where it goes super slow mo and it pans around. the person. That's awesome. I've been to actually what was it? I went to a car show that they had one of those setups where like the cameras were like they started low, all these different cameras, and they kind of like spin around and it gets real high. And it was for like I think it was for like Chevy or something, and you could like they like count down and you jump, and then like you go, and it takes it real quick, and then you can go over to the screen. You can watch it and look at how it goes in like 3D. Looked really cool. Right. It was just cool that they could do that like a normal technology. I think you could have it like emailed to you yourself or something, and post it on your Facebook.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's kind of cool. So what else have I done since I've been in quarantine? Got some video. I got a haircut. If people didn't know, if they didn't watch the video, they would be like, oh, some people might not know. They might not see the video. There's a video on our YouTube page. Yeah, I look. Wait, look. Ready. I look like a thumb. If I shaved everything off, I look like I got my goddamn thumb. Like, I look the same. Look at my thumb. The same fucking shape as my head. That's great. I was like, wow, all right. Maybe that's how it's supposed to be. Stick up your thumb. See if it's like supposed to be the same thing. Your head might look like a thumb too. Like your thumb, not a thumb. It looks like your thumb.
Yeah.
I think you need to do it, dude. Or what that other guy did that you sent me the video where he did just that weird front.
Oh yeah.
At least do that for a day. Do that for a day, and then the next day just shave it all off. Would you ever consider shaving your head? Have you ever done that before?
I haven't, but I would. I don't give a shit.
Would you? Will you do it and record it? Have your wife do it and record it. We'll put it on.
I mean, if it does get to the point that this shit's bother me and like there's nobody to cut it, I'll just fucking do it myself.
Have you had it cut? It doesn't look very long. You've had it cut. So
I cut it right before they shut them down. So.
Oh, nice. It's been a long time for me.
So, like I said, if it's if it's gonna keep up like that, then yeah, I'm just gonna hit it.
I did it like a week ago. It looks like it's not even growing. I wonder if I fuck myself. Wouldn't it be funny? It's never gonna grow again. You get to a certain point, you trim it, and it's like, my beard is growing faster. I had the beard done the same day. Like I could clean up my beard shorter because it's already getting kind of scruffy. And what's funny is like you can't see it on the screen. You can barely see it unless I point it out. But it's like right by the ear, like right here, I can pull out like an inch long hair. It's one spot that she missed, and it just blends. It blends in really well. But I saw it the other day. I was like looking at myself in the mirror. I'm like, the hell? And I go, boop. I'm like, what? How did we miss that? It was funny. We had a good time. We had a good time doing it, though. If you guys haven't seen the video, go to our YouTube page, and it's there. It's the Coronavirus Blues 2. And maybe if Chris gets sick of it, we'll have Coronavirus Blues 3.
There you go.
I want to do like some other Coronavirus Blues thing. I'm trying to think about. Me and Maddie, we flew a kite. I bought her a kite.
Oh yeah.
But it wasn't like one of those cheap plastic ones. Did I tell you that already? Did I already tell the story? I can't remember.
No, I saw the video, but we didn't talk about it.
Oh yeah, I did post a video, but anyway, nobody's seen my page or anything. So, just for the sake of story, I'll tell it again. Yeah, we got her. It was a nice one. It was like one of the nylon ones that wasn't gonna fall apart in like 2 seconds, like the plastic ones. And it came with the string and everything. I thought it was gonna be flimsy as string. It's actually pretty decent string. I don't know what the kind of like weight bearing you can hold on, but I mean, once you get it up there, like it's pulling pretty hard. So it's got to be a good 20, 30 pound test line because like you can like pull that thing pretty hard. And but it took us like seriously like 2 seconds to get it up in the air. We went out to like a local park where there's or just a big open grass. It was a local school. but there's nobody
Right.
around, so we were just on the grass, and it kind of dipped down. The grass kind of dipped down from where we were parked, and I was still on the parking or on the like in the parking lot. We had like maybe 10 foot of string. I just tossed it up there. It goes whoop, and it went straight up, and just no problems after that. And she just kind of
Yeah.
unraveled it. I'm gonna keep it around. That bastard was probably 100 yards in the air. I'm not even kidding you. It was freaking out there. I mean, you can tell kind of from the video that's high, but I don't know if it quite does it justice. It was shit tons of way up there, and I couldn't believe it because I was like, "Damn!" And it's loud because the wind is blowing on it and shit. I was like, "Dang, this is kind of." You're just staring at a kite, some piece of plastic and fabric in the air, but there's something enjoyable about watching it because it was so, it was like kind of like, bobbing and weaving and shit in the air.
Right.
I'm like, I could get behind doing this. I mean, if I just sat out there watching the damn thing, the biggest problem was getting the bastard back wheeled in. Because you got
Yeah.
like this little plastic D thing that has all the string wrapped around it. And so what you're doing, you're having to just turn it the whole time, and like you feel like you pull it too hard, it's gonna break the string, and then your kite's gonna go. Who knows where it's gonna go? You're not gonna be able to find it because it's gonna go blocks over.
All the way to freaking
Whenever it comes
Africa.
down. Yeah, who knows whenever it comes down. And so I look online. I haven't bought it yet, but I'm going to because they're not that expensive. You can buy. It's just almost like a fishing rod but it's a circle. It's a big circle, and it's a
Hmm.
big reel, and so you can like just so like a 5 or 6 inch round circle, but it's got ball bearings and shit, and you just it's so much easier reeling the damn thing in because
Right. And faster.
yeah, it's so much easier and faster. So it was lesson learned, but it was still fun as shit.
That's
So
cool.
yeah. I highly recommend it to people if you're just like, I don't know what to do. Go on Amazon, pay like $12 for a fucking kite, and it's a good fun for an afternoon, especially if you have
Yeah.
kids. Kids like it. I
So
don't
how
know.
did you feel about being out of school for so long?
I asked her that the other day. I said, "Isn't that kind of weird?" She's transitioning from elementary to middle school, so that's got
Oh,
to be really weird for her. I said, "How does it feel
yeah.
to be like completely done?" Because they have had to do like I guess they don't technically have to, but they have like email. They email them like different like activities and stuff to do online, and
Right.
they can kind of keep up with stuff, stay current on different things.
Yeah.
But she's like, it's kind of weird not seeing friends and stuff like that. Just I don't know. I was thinking about it. I'm like, first of all, you wouldn't have gotten me to do that. Any homework, any stuff that they're like, hey, you're going to do it. I'd go on there for like 10 minutes acting like I'm doing it. Just to be honest, I would not even bother. I'm like, sweet, early summer.
I mean, they said that they weren't even gonna give a grade on it or anything because not everybody has access to them. So I mean, what's the point?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Just
there's a lot
fuck
of
it,
people,
do it.
a lot of kids that are poor. They don't even have internet, so it's like it's not
Right.
fair for them.
Yeah.
Well, I
So
was
I was
more,
like, lucky bastards.
I was more concerned about some of the kids that like they depended on school for even eating. For like
Yeah.
having a breakfast and a lunch. That really kind of concerned me for a little bit because I was like, I didn't really know what I could do to like help, but it still like it bothered me and it made me kind of pause for
Yeah.
concern.
The good thing is that most schools, from what I heard, they were still giving out breakfast and
Yep,
lunch,
I did
like
hear that too.
during like the morning and morning and noon. So
Right.
that was the good thing that if you could get there, they would still give you free lunch or free breakfast.
Yeah, that's
So
cool.
which is good. But I mean, what a lot of people were worrying about it was domestic violence because it's on the rise. Also like kids that were looking forward to going to school not only to get breakfast and
Probably.
lunch, but also to get away from an
Wow.
abusive mom or dad. You know, they're having to get stuck in home.
I didn't even think about
Uh,
that.
so it's rough.
Hell yeah, I didn't. We're totally balanced out, bro. No,
Yeah,
I totally get you. I didn't even think about that.
yeah, man, it's crazy. But like I said, I mean, I don't know what to believe. I just hope things start to get back to normal. I mean, I know it's gonna take a long time to 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 say, everything is back to the way it used to be, but
I'm
just
just
to get
wondering
some
when.
sense of normality back, it would be nice because it's just a shit show all
Yeah,
over the place.
'cause I mean, think about it. There's some people that are saying this is gonna go into like June. There's some people that are saying that this is gonna go on for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
It's like that goes back to what we were saying earlier. It's like who do you believe? Like I don't know who to believe. And at the same
I
time,
know.
they're gonna start opening up these towns and states. People are gonna start going out. I'm not going out right away. Like I'm not gonna go out to some restaurant tomorrow because
Hell no.
they said that you can. It's like there's so many stupid people that are gonna go out there and they're gonna get sick, and then they're gonna have to shut. And then it could be even worse. Like it might even end up
Right.
being worse.
Right, because I mean, let's say that they start opening back up in May, and by the end of May, like instead of having 1 million people infected, you have 2 million. So then you have to shut everything down again, and then be on quarantine for even longer. So it's like shooting yourself in the foot. It's
Yeah.
like you have a cold, and you take the medicine for 2 or 3 days, and you start to feel better, and then you start, going out without a sweater or whatever, and I mean you're gonna get sick again because you're not fully recovered. So it's the same thing. But that's what people don't get. And what I've heard that it's kind of interesting, even though I don't like getting into politics or anything like that, but it did kind of make sense that they're trying to start up the economy that way. You know, that way Trump doesn't need to help people economically, like with the stimulus check of
Mm-hmm.
$1,200. And I saw that there were some Democrats trying to pass a bill that it would give you like $2,000 a month for like the next 6 months, and
That's
they were
crazy.
trying to see if they would approve that. So he's trying to prevent all that money from going out. That's why he's trying to start up the economy back again, so
Right.
people can go back to work without having to give that money for free, basically. So I was like, it sounds fucked up, but at the same time, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, he's the kind of guy that would do that kind of shit. But
Yeah.
who knows? I mean, it sure as hell would help a lot of people because that people that don't have money, that don't have a job, I mean, it's really hard for them, and they have nothing else but unemployment if they're getting unemployment. But a lot of people don't even have a chance to apply because it's so saturated that it's not everybody's getting it. So it's
Mm-hmm.
freaking crazy right now.
Yeah. Well, I this is a question. How about like the state buildings? Like if you need to get like I need to get my plates, but I also have to go through emissions. Is that open or is that going to be open soon?
That's
I don't.
closed. So
So because I'm today is like my last day for my plates. Like it
I
expires
think
at midnight, and so I'm wondering. I'm like, I don't want to get pulled over, and they're like, oh well, they are open. I'm like, how do I know? Like I don't know.
no, you're actually if your driver's license or your tags or things like that are expiring soon, or they expired already, they have you have like a 3 month grace period. So and if things don't get better and they're still closed, then they're going to give you another grace period on top of that. So
That's
you're not
good.
going to get pulled over or
I
anything like
was
that.
wondering about that because
That,
even
that's why a
like
lot of that's why a lot of people were joking that since there's not many cars in the road, and since they're not arresting a lot of people because they don't want to get people in jails getting sick,
yeah,
so only if it's a real crime, they're gonna arrest you. If not, they won't. So
mm,
it's funny because I've been hearing a lot of memes and posts saying that you know uh, for people that are going back to work because they're reopening. It's like the speed limit is 103 right now, so don't fuck it up because they're not pulling over anybody. So,
Well, like, I was thinking about that. I think I have a tail light out, a
uh-huh.
brake, not a tail light, but it's just a brake light. And I've gotten pulled over for that before. And I was right behind, or I was right in front of. It was weird. I was in front of a cop, and I was right behind a cop, and at a stoplight. And I pulled up. I'm like, well, he's gonna pull me over a bit because of the stupid light. He's gonna see my brake light out. And I pull out, and he keeps going. I'm like, he probably didn't even want to fucking bother with it. He's like, I'm not gonna try to bother this guy. Like the last thing he needs is a ticket, in this shit
Right.
show.
With all this, yeah.
Even though I've never got a ticket off of that, I've only had like warnings, but still, it's a waste of his time to get out of his car just to say that it's a warning.
Right.
He can run my
to
plates.
risk it.
He can run my plates, see that I'm clean, like clear or whatever. But if he ran my plates, he saw that there was a problem, then maybe he would have pulled me over. But
Right.
like I had a warrant out or something.
But yeah, but that's the thing. Like there was also people saying, like, you know how easy it would be to be a cop right now because there's nothing going on. I mean, there's nobody outside or anything like that.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about bar brawls and.
Right, exactly. So you don't have to worry about a whole lot of shit that might be going on if it was, things running as normal.
That explains why. Yeah, I saw some cops over by my ex's house the other day. Man, I saw like 4 cops driving by just like in a matter of like a couple minutes. I'm just like, damn, got nothing better to do.
They went over to a cookout, maybe. But yeah, man, it's crazy, and like I saw this cop joking about stuff like that too. How they're not pulling anybody over, so there was a guy basically, checking the speed on a car, and he's like, "Dang, he's going 90. He's fine. That's the new speed limit."
Yeah,
And
if
then
he
he's
was like
like,
95, I might consider pulling over.
"Yeah," and then he's like, another guy is like has no license plates, and then he's like, "Well, that DMV is closed, so nothing I can do."
Yeah,
And then he acts like he sees somebody running. He's like, "Hey, where are you going?" And then he's like, "Oh, wait a minute, I know that guy." It's like he has a warrant, and then he's like, he'll probably have the Rona. I'm not even gonna risk it."
yeah. All you gotta do
Like,
if you were like a criminal, all you gotta do is start like coughing and we like I'm sick, man. I'm sick. We'll be like, all right, you're gone. Well, like the people that I really like feel for, like how their world's gotta be is seniors, like graduating seniors.
yeah,
That's so weird. Like, what if you were on like a probationary thing? You needed to bust your ass this last couple of weeks before you could even
right.
have a chance of graduating. And now this is all like turning into a shit show. Now, what are they not gonna let you walk because of it? Or usually most places will still let you walk even though you don't have anything. You're just your little diploma book won't have your diploma in it. It just be blank.
Right. That's actually what happened to me.
Yeah, well, I think we talked about that before. It happened to me too.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I do feel sorry for them because I mean, they're not getting a prom, they're not getting a
No,
graduation ceremony,
my
anything like that. So
my
it's pretty
yeah,
messed up.
it was super messed up. My buddy Tim, his daughter, she's a senior, and I was over at their house the other night having dinner, and it was on Saturday, and that was the night that their prom was supposed to be, and they ended up
Hmm.
having a Zoom prom. Like everybody was like showed up in the like the different Zoom chats, and then like they decorated their room with like lights and everything, and it's kind of funny. Like one person was playing music, and then like I don't know if they give it options like the next person play the next song or whatever, and they're all dancing
Yeah.
around. She said it was kind of cool. I mean, it's going down in history as like one of those weird things, you know?
It definitely is. I mean, and it's gonna be something that a lot of people are gonna be talking about for many years. I mean, if you think about it, like I said, I mean, it's not only happening here in the U.S., it's happening all over the world. So
Right.
I mean, it's gonna go down in history for sure. Which is weird because you don't know how long it's gonna last, or if the virus is gonna stay and we're gonna eventually find a vaccination, but it's gonna be like the flu where you're gonna get sick every summer or every other summer or whatever. So it's pretty messed up, man. Once you actually wrap your head around it and think about it, it's actually something that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. My my stepkid, he's graduating this year too, and he I know he's been on some kind of like disciplinary action because of his grades and stuff like that. So I'm wondering how that's going to affect him. I haven't talked to
Yeah,
him or anything about it, but he's one of those kids where real bright kid, just kind of got lazy and just like super bright kid. Back in like middle school and stuff, he was like getting A's and B's. And then he got into high school, just kind of started to slacken and just didn't put his best foot forward. And he's a super bright kid. He's always talking about wanting to go and be like a foreign exchange student in a different country and stuff like that. I'm like, well, you got to have like A's and B's to do that, buddy. They're not
yeah,
gonna let some C student just come over and slack, for 6 months.
for
so,
sure.
so that kind of sucks that he got in such a tough spot.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm wondering too, because like the thing is that they lost almost half of the school year. So like how are they gonna make it work? Like you said, if there's kids that were struggling but that still had time to catch up and build their grades to where they would pass, like what are they gonna do? Are they gonna give them a chance? Are they gonna hold them back? Or what's
Yeah,
gonna happen?
I don't know.
It's crazy.
It's very crazy. I
Okay.
couldn't imagine them holding him back. I mean, that'd be horrible. Like, I
Yeah,
mean, they would have to do some kind of, at least try to do some kind of sociable stuff.
yeah.
But even
Because
then,
I mean,
it's still be hard.
Myra's brother, he's a sophomore in high school, and they sent him a message saying that his grades were up, on the website, and he looked and there was like blank. There's nothing there,
Oh,
and I'm
jeez.
like, I mean that's the thing though. I mean, it's blank because there's nothing to grade, but also I was hoping that they would have some type of information as to how they're going to handle that. If
Right.
how they decide who passes,
I,
who fails,
I don't
or
even
if
think they
anybody's
know.
going to fail at all.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like I don't think they have a plan yet to make
Mm-hmm.
that work. So I haven't heard anybody from the school district talk about it. So because they were calling almost every day with different news and updates and stuff, and I never heard that what they're gonna do to save the school year, or to see if everybody's gonna pass, if they're just gonna give them a pass and let everybody go to the next year or graduate. And it's crazy, man. It's tough.
Yeah. It was very tough. Um, on a different note, um, I was telling you this story that I'm going to tell you. Um,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
oh my
He will
gosh.
laugh.
I can laugh about it now, but oh my gosh, you have no idea. I was so mad. And you know what? I'm not gonna say her name, but my ex truly showed her colors this like last week. All
Yeah.
right, we'll preface it here. How many times do you like kind of run your gas tank low, like where you're like, shit, I'm getting pretty low, and you get some gas, and then like have you ever ran out of gas by accident?
No, I haven't. But that's actually my wife gets on to me for that shit all the time, because I let it run to where I have like my gauge for the gas is digital, so it
Yeah.
shows like little squares,
Mm-hmm.
and I usually leave it to the last square,
Yeah.
or sometimes it even that motherfucker is like even goes out, and then
Yeah.
she's like, "Are you planning on getting gas?" So, but every time, I mean, at least I have one square before I, get into the gas station and fill it back up.
So I bet
But
you probably
I've never run out of gas.
I bet you played with fire a couple times where you were probably real close, and like you just
Yeah,
happened to go in
yeah,
at the right time. Like especially if
yeah.
if there was no more squares. Like my Civic
Right,
was the same way. I had squares, and I knew. I think I ran out of gas once with that, so I knew that how long I could go when there was no more squares. So I
right,
made sure that I got in. With this
right.
Honda or Hyundai, um, I have not only it's a physical gauge, but I also have no wait, is it physical gauge? No, that's a digital gauge too, but it's a little different. They're dashes instead of squares, so it's not maybe not as accurate.
Mhm.
Well, it has a digital gauge, but then it also has miles left to empty.
Right.
And once it gets down to I think like 30 miles left, it'll just go dash dash. It won't tell you. It won't count down to zero. And so you're just like,
Uh,
okay, shit, I gotta kind of figure out here. You go get gas or thinking, okay, I've got a little time. Well, I had Maddie for the weekend, and this was last Saturday. What was that? Either Saturday or Sunday. I can't, like I said, all the days blend together. I don't know what day it was. Um, well, I knew I was getting close to running out of gas. And I was going to get gas before I left. We were already kind of running late. I wanted to get her back on time because otherwise the ex gets all pissy about not. Why, I could tell her we'll be back at 9, at like 9. Where is she? Still driving. We left a couple minutes late. Give us a break. So I'm like, okay. So I wanted to get her back at a decent time. I think we're already late. We are literally a block away from her house, and my car shuts off. I'm like, shit. I'm like, oh, well, that's good that we're as close as we are. So I called up. I called up the ex, and I said, hey, this is kind of funny. I ran out of gas. Is there any way that you could just bring me? They have a lawnmower. Just bring your gas tank with you. You can come and get Maddie, and then I can just fill up like a half gallon or a gallon to get me to the gas station.
right.
She's like, well, yeah, I think I can do that. So she comes and she pulls, like we're at like an intersection kind of. I'm pulled off into like a turn lane.
Mm-hmm.
Back in her neighborhood, and it's like Caseland Lane area. If you're familiar with that area, there's a lot of like, turn lanes and stuff that you can get out of the main road for. Well, I'm right there in one of the turn lanes. She pulls over onto like the intersection. She stops for a second. And I said, "Man, you go ahead and go figure out like I don't know if they needed to fill up a little bit of gas or whatever, and just go ahead and let me know what I need to, if I have to cash or whatever." So she goes over to the car. She gets in the car and they pull away. And I'm like, okay, they're going the opposite way from their house. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe there's a gas station down a little ways down that way in the
Mm-hmm.
neighborhood. Maybe that's where they're going. It's like a good mile away, probably half a mile, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe a little in between a mile and a half mile. Either way, it's a decent drive, a couple minutes, and and then I see them come back the other way. Like after it was just like a minute, they see them turn and they come back and they turn and I'm like, okay, wow, that's quick. She turns and goes home. I'm sitting in a car stranded. So I'm texting her. I said, "Where's the gas?" And she's like, "Oh well, one of the gas cans that we had, the little thing was broken on it or something, so it wouldn't have worked." I said, "Okay, well, what else could we do? Like, I mean, do you have more than one tank? Blah blah blah. Maybe just bring that one. I'll do the best I can to try to pour it in there. Even if we have to like make a funnel out of like a old like magazine or something. I don't know what to do. We'll figure something out." And so through text message, she's like, "I don't have time to do this for you." Almost like she said, "Why don't you just call your roadside assistance?" I said, "You're a block away." I'm like, "Why can't you help me out here?" And I'm like, This is just. If it was me and you needed gas, and you said, "Hey, I ran out of gas," and you called me for gas, I'd help you get you gas.
Right.
So I don't have roadside assistance on my insurance. Like I'm saving money. I don't have roadside assistance. I'm like, there'd be a waste of roadside assistance in the first place. And so I said, "Are you serious? You're gonna seriously just keep me stranded out here? I don't have a tank." And I'm like, I didn't have enough cash on me to go buy a tank and then fill it up and then get more gas because the tanks they always gouge you for like 15, $20. I just had cash on me. I didn't have extra. I can just throw it on the card. And so I'm just like, "You are unbelievable." I said, "This is ridiculous." And so I keep on bugging her about it. And she's like, fine, I'll come, but I'm not getting your gas for you. I'm not asking you to get gas for me. Just bring the gas tank that has a little bit of gas in it, and I'll go to the gas station and be fine. Waiting a couple more minutes. She finally shows up, pulls up behind me with Madison. She's like, it's in the back. So I go and get it. It's empty. I said, can you just run me down to the gas station? It'll take like seriously like a minute, and then we'll come back down. No, I don't have time for this. I can't take you. And at that point, I'm like, are you effing serious? I flip a switch, man. And I'm like yelling at her in the middle of the road. And like it's an empty thing, I'm slamming it on the ground and just like acting like a fool, a complete fool. Which whatever, I don't care. At the time, it was justified, but looking back, I was kind of foolish. Madison gets all upset. I feel really bad that I made her upset, but I was cussing her out. I was yelling so much. I was so mad at her, and I said, you don't even know what the point of being a good Samaritan is." I said, "Are you ridiculous? You can't. I can't even believe you." And it was hot outside. I didn't have anything. I had just recently woken up, so I wasn't in my bearings yet. I didn't have like enough to drink, so my throat was all getting dry. And I'm yelling, and my voice is starting to go out and everything. So I'm just like, whatever. I give Maddie a kiss and a hug goodbye, and I'm like, I'm really sorry, and that I did this or whatever. And I start walking because I'm like, now I gotta walk a fucking mile to get this gas in this heat. Luckily, it wasn't too hot, but I was just like so pissed, and I was like, just walking. I walked all the way down there, got the gas. Walking back, and I'm probably like maybe a quarter of the way back. Some dude pulls up in a Cadillac. He's like, "Hey man, is that your car down there?" He was going this way. He was coming from where my car was.
Yeah.
Excuse me, this gas can. He's like, "You take your car down there, parked on the side of the road?" I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Hop in, man. I'm gonna help you out." So I'm like, "Thank you so much." I'm like, I'm like, wow, there actually is some nice people in this world still. And we kind of just like shot the shit for a couple minutes. I told him exactly why I was having to do all this. He's like, "Man, I just broke with my girl too," but I'm just like, oh, that's funny. So he dropped me off. He's like, "Man, have a better day." Thanks, man. Thanks a lot. So as I put the gas tank in or gas in, I think I had a gallon. Usually that's all it takes to get the car started. I put the gallon in, and it's the world's worst nozzle. It just goes because there's no like little airway to like keep the air in. Because there's usually like
even flow
in the tube, or there's like a hole in the actual tank. You pop the little thing off so it draws in the air. I'm like, hell, I'm standing like this for like 5 minutes for a gallon to go into my tank. And then trying to like shake it and just kind of like get every little dust drop. There's still probably like 3/4 of a gallon of gas still in there when I was done with it. I couldn't get it all in. So I'm like, what the hell, man? This is just the worst. And I'd have a car pull up. "Hey, man, you okay?" I even had a cop pull. He's like, "Everything all right?" Even while I was waiting for Gretchen to come back with an empty gas tank, a cop pulled up. "You doing all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just waiting on gas." He's like, "Okay." And so I went to go start the car. It's fuel injection. So I went to start it. Nope, nothing. Didn't even try to turn over. It was just nothing. It was a click. So I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, how did I not put enough gas in here for it? So I'm sitting there just like stressed out, like still like getting mad at Gretchen and oops. And, I don't care anymore. And so like I'm still like texting her and yelling at her and stuff like that. And like she had this I was saying what a horrible like human being she showed me to be, and not like you're not even being you shouldn't even know what a good Samaritan is. And while I'm waiting for this car, I don't know what happened to the car. I had like 3 or 4 people. "Hey man, you need gas?" I'm like, because like the gas tank was sitting out by the car, I'm like, "Yeah, I'm putting gas. I don't know what's wrong with it." I had 3 people, 3 nice human beings in the world ask if I needed gas, if I needed a ride somewhere. One dude said, "Hey man, I've got 5 gallons of gas in my truck bed here, man. I can give you." Dude, the person that's living a fucking block away couldn't have helped me out and gotten gas for me, but all these
Right.
complete strangers are just going out of their way because guess what? We're in a fucking issue here, a crisis, and so those people are willing to help you, like get to whatever needs to be done. I would have done it. I'm sure you would have done it. I pulled over and help people all the time.
Yeah.
If I had to push a car off into the side of the road or whatever, if I need to run somebody gas, that's what normal human beings do. But I'm not dealing with a normal human being apparently, because apparently I was completely in the wrong 100% of the time. So that's my rant. That's my rant. And guess what? I don't give a hell what she thinks. I'm not slandering her. She can't sue me for anything. I'm telling you, this is all 100% accounted for on what happened. That there are nice people in this world, and there are people that are shit in this world. And I'm not gonna say which side she falls in. She falls on one side. That's my rant for the week.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah. Can you believe that shit?
That's petty as hell.
That's petty as hell, man. That's the most pettiest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Shit.
You're a block away. You can't even help.
I can't help you.
You can't even help the father of your child. You hear maybe some douchebag, like fathers be like their deadbeat fathers or whatever, and like, oh, you didn't help your baby daddy, you know? Like, no, there's a lot of guys that do help with the baby daddy with whatever they need to do, or baby mama or whatever they need to do. You know, you need to get to work. I'll take you to work. You need gas. Let's go get you some gas. Oh. That's my rant, man. I just I don't know what else to say about it, but
all I can say is karma's a bitch. For sure.
Yeah, that's true. I told her, I'm like, don't ever think that you're going to call me for any kind of help, because unless it has to do with Madison, I ain't helping you with shit.
You own.
You wouldn't even get a crippled man a crutch. So,
That's
a crippled crab a crutch. That's like what's his name? Patton Oswalt. He got a funny story about this like guy that was doing stand up. Like he was doing like an open mic type thing. And like he had these weird ass sayings. Like, wouldn't even give a crippled crab a crutch. It's funny.
Bitch.
Yeah. Well, buddy boy, anything else exciting? What's your plans for the weekend? You got plans for the weekend?
Sleeping.
Sleep. You gotta work.
Sleeping a lot.
You gotta work at all.
And work. We're gonna work a little bit tomorrow. Probably like.
Wait, what's today?
3 hours.
Today Friday?
Huh?
Today Friday or Saturday or Thursday?
Thursday.
Today's Thursday. Okay.
Yeah, tomorrow's Friday.
Okay.
Yep. So we're gonna work for like 3 hours tomorrow, or 4 max. So we're only gonna be working like half a day, and then probably Saturday we'll be working a full day. But then after that, hopefully we'll have Sunday off.
Nice.
And then we'll see how it goes from there.
My TV just freaked out on me. TV will freak out every once in a while. Do you do that? Your TV ever like on standby? You know, where you don't shut it off, it just powers down for saving energy. Does it ever just randomly turn on? Like not even touching the remote.
I've had it blink, but not turn on entirely.
Mine will blink and then it will turn on. And now I'm at the home screen. The remote's sitting right there. You can touch it. Weird.
It's your guardian angel.
It's like come together pretty. I mean, that's probably the best value for a TV I've ever gotten. Your TV still going strong?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that. I wish that I had paid the extra like 100 to get the bigger size, but what's another? Was it use 65 inch? So there's 10 inch.
Yep.
My internet.
Which one? Mine?
Mine says my internet is unstable. It might happen every once in a while. We can call it. We can call it the night though.
Yeah, it's almost 11.
Holy! I haven't even had dinner yet. That's how my day goes, man. I never even had dinner by now, but I don't know. Well, everybody, thanks for watching, and this is not normal, but it's probably gonna be like this we'll do it again at least once or twice, probably in the next couple of weeks. We're gonna we'll try to do one next week so we can keep everybody up to date on what's going on in our lives and different things. I want to get out and do some vlog stuff and some travel stuff. I've got some stuff that's gonna come out probably next week if I can get the motivation to do it, because sometimes you're just like, I should do this, and then you're like, I'll do it later, and then later comes, you're like, I'll do it tomorrow. And you keep on putting it off, and then you're like, crap. Yep. So I've got a couple ideas that I've been wanting to do, videos I want to record. And I'm sure Chris has got some ideas that he'll grace us with his presence. Definitely. We still have travel vlogs to edit and upload and all that good shit. So we're gonna take care of it. But go ahead and subscribe, comment, share.
Do the whole thing, the whole enchilada.
It's funny. I'll post people to help like and subscribe on like Facebook, and they do it on Facebook. They don't do it on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Yeah, do it on both. You know.
Take that extra step. Come on.
I put the link right there. I mean, I take the step for you. Right. Baby steps right into baby steps into the bathroom. But we do thank you guys for watching. People that do watch and listen and subscribe. Where this whole business has gotten kind of a little hiccup in getting content out. A lot of content providers have been doing that. They haven't been putting out stuff. So you'll see like them posting old stuff, and we've got a couple like backlog stuff that we're gonna post. So
we've
got to keep content out
or something.
Well, we've got like episodes. I've got like unfinished episodes that we can still post. So we'll be talking about like the Titanic breaking. They're so old. That would be funny. Oh, real quick before we go. Something I thought would be kind of cool, I think, and some people have already talked about this on other podcasts, but I've had this idea before they came up with it. It helped remind me. I think it'd be kind of cool, and maybe when this whole thing blows over, we're back face to face. Pick like a TV show or a movie or something, and we'll watch it. Like if it's like a series or something, we'll watch an episode, and then like we'll do commentary. Like either we can do commentary while we're watching it, kind of like a Mystery Science 3000 thing, or where like you can't hear the audio of there. I can set it up to where we can just hear the audio, but we would just have to talk. We just can't just sit there and just like hope that it's going to be interesting because people are going to get bored.
Right.
But if we could either do something like that where we're watching something that's like a comedy where it's kind of funny, we can talk about like different fun facts. If we look up different things about the movie and how it was made and whatever, or show.
Right.
I thought that would be kind of cool. It can be something separate from Way the Bear, or it can be whatever. I don't know what we'll have to decide there. I think that'd be cool. If you guys think that's a cool idea, then go ahead and suggest some TV shows or movies in the comments below or something. It'd be kind of cool to help us out, kind of get us started. Maybe it can be even like a TV show that we've never watched. Like, I don't know. I've only watched a couple episodes of certain things, so like maybe if we start from the beginning of certain series that were like, I've always wanted to watch that, never have. Like The Sopranos. I've seen like 2 episodes. So it's like, I don't know, have you ever watched The Sopranos all the way through?
No.
How about Entourage? You ever watched Entourage? You ever even heard of it?
No.
It's an HBO show. There's a lot of shit out there that like it's always been like, oh, let's watch that, and I never have. So we could do something like that, or if it's either commentary while we're watching it, So people could essentially they could sit down and watch the show with us. We'll like, watch something that is easily accessible through either Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime. Those are usually the go-to things that most people have.
Yeah.
Or if we find some funny shit on YouTube, like some kind of content provider that's showing something that's funny or something, we can talk about it on that. So that way we can be like, okay, line it up to this. We'll line it up to the exact like second, and then it'll be like we're sitting there with the people, like watching the show or watching the movie, and then look, we can afterwards, either during or afterwards, we can talk about the show or whatever. That might be kind of cool idea.
Yeah.
Or we can just watch a show by ourselves. Like you and me can watch the show before we record, and then just afterwards, like, we just watch episode blah 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 of this, Jack Off Johansson, and then this is like and break it down. Yeah, kind of break down the episode.
Right.
That might be kind of fun too. I've heard people do that about Saved by the Bell. That'd be fun, but it's already been done. And like I think actually two of the people that were in the office, Pam and Angela, they're like good friends, and they have a podcast that's they're doing the same thing with the office. So the office probably would be off limits unless we want to do our own take on it.
Yeah.
Since that's what they're doing now. That's what they're doing now, so it'd be kind of hard. But I don't know. We'll figure something out. But I just thought I'd throw it out there. Maybe kind of cool to do. And if you have an idea, if anybody has any ideas, just let us know.
Yeah, definitely put it down in the comments.
All right, guys. Thanks again. We'll be back next week, maybe.
Next week.
Okay. Hold this guy to it. Hold this guy to it. He likes to say, "Yeah, let's do something tomorrow," and then it's like 3 days later. Hey, what's going on? Oh yeah, you forget? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, it's sleepy time. I still have to work, unlike you.
Yeah. I'm essential, unfortunately.
You're essential for people that need houses to live in.
Yeah. Need shelter.
All right, people. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.
Peace.